Hello ladies and gentlemen, this is Malikicowtipper bringing you another game of StarCraft 2. Tonight my opponent will be Junior. Now, being that I'm in Diamond League, this is a little bit of a lower level player that I'm going to be casting for this game, but I'm casting this game for the sole reason that he's ran a strategy that I've seen several Terran players use at the higher levels, and it's literally the most frustrating thing, I guess, since, like, imagine putting a 4-gate proxy together with a Reaper harassment. I mean, that's literally, to me anyway, how annoying this strategy is. But anyway, you'll get to see it in just a moment. So, said Junior representing the blue Terran over here, and we are spawned pretty closely together on Lost Temple. But Lost Temple, this is kind of a love-hate relationship for me with this map because I've been Thor dropped over here. I've been walled in by Protoss. Protoss can go for a quick expand down here, and you know, just the short fly distance makes it ideal for both Mutas and for Banshees, so I'm kind of undecided as to whether I really like this map as far as, you know, Zerg goes, but on the same token, I like the fact that I usually have a bigger open space, that if I can fight my battles and sprint and I creep out here, that I think gives me advantage. So sending out my Scout and Overlord, he's coming over here, and in just a little bit he's gonna say, "Yo bro, I found him, I'm gonna poop creep on him later." But anyway, so bringing him over here, and income pretty much even. Early on in the game, it doesn't really pay to talk about that stuff too much. So, doing some minor housekeeping. HD StarCraft put up an absolutely amazing game. ZvT, utterly incredible. Like, I watched the game and I felt giddy like a schoolgirl while watching it. If you guys don't know who HD is, just type in HD StarCraft. It should be one of the newest games on his channel. One of the main players is Broom. I can't remember the name of the other player, but check it out. It's brand new, amazing video. But here we go, getting into some action. Got a barracks going up, that new supply depot. This is a, you know, fresh 1.12 game. So barracks going up, there's the wall off, pretty much expected. And at that point, I'm kind of glad I didn't send out, excuse me, an early scouting drone. Like, I'm sending them out right here, but here I'm gonna drop my expansion right there. And what I've been doing lately is a 16 hatch, then 15 gas, 14 pool. It seems to work out pretty nicely. It helps maintain a strong economy while still getting your units out in time. Naturally, this barracks will be finished by the time I get my spawning pool done, but realistically, not necessarily a short run distance here. It takes a while to get your Marines over here, and I feel pretty safe because I've got my Overlord. He's going to chill over here, and he's basically going to let me know if he's going to expand, if he's going to mass an army down there, what he's going to go with. So we can see right here, 2 more barracks going up. This is going to be a pretty standard 3 barracks push. We're going to have 1 reactor and 2 tech labs pushing out of these, and I have not previewed this game, so, you know, just, that's what my assumption is going to be right here. But if we check this out, 16 to 14 on the harvester count. Now, for Zerg, if you go for this fast build, what you basically got to do is remember that you're probably not going to be attacked for the first, you know, 5 or 6 minutes of the game. You know, sometimes you will, but, you know, hopefully you can catch it with your Overlord or with, you know, some scouting that you might be doing. As you can see, it doesn't even have a reactor or anything going up yet, but what that means for you is you've got to continue to pump those drones. You've got to push drones out. Let's go over to the production tab right here. So I've got a queen going up on this base over here, and won't be producing a queen. You can delay your queen right there because at this point in the game, you really do not need 2 queens, and you especially do not need them pumping, you know, out larva because you just don't have the minerals to support it anyway. You'll be burning through all your larva and barely saving up any minerals as is. But you should be using that. I've got speed going down. That queen's almost finished. And just continue to pump out the drones. Where he's pumping out Marines, go over to the income tab, I'm pumping out economy. So the goal is, when you do this, to have this first expansion fully saturated by 5 minutes. You want that up and running. As you can see right here, that's decent. Build 3 more workers to go over there, and you'll be in good shape. So looking at this, he has, you know, 7 Marines out right now versus my 2 Zerglings. So unbeknown to him, if he pushed out with these 7 Marines, that would, you know, he could maybe solicit a GG, or at least just slow me down hardcore. But, you know, if he moves out, my hope is that I'll be able to see these with my Overlord over here. And right now, still no tech structures coming up. That's a little unusual. It's going to be tough to build anything big with all the tech structures unless he's just going for mass Marines. But at that point, you can see that building all those Marines quickly, there goes the command center. And Terran doesn't really quite need as many SCVs, but if you take a look at the SCVs that are on here, for not making any gas using structures, there's no reason to have your gas this early, guys. I mean, he does not have enough workers on this at all. These minerals are way undersaturated, and he's got to be just starving himself dry right there. But there goes the mules. We're going to see that bounce right back up. So now I've got my main over here fully saturated. You know, very good. Looking awesome. The Bangling Nest, got the hatchery going. And this one, what you should do is when this hatchery pops over here, set your rally point for both of these over here. Now you see I have my drone rally point set to this mineral patch over here, so I can just hit 4SD, 4SD, 4SDDD all day long. And right now, anticipating Marines and Marauders, because I'm getting close to that, 7-8 minute mark, I'm going to morph some Banglings. And now that I have this base fully saturated, I'm going, let's check out the production tab right here. I'm going to start to build some more combat units while continuing to just pump out the drones. Because I know if I can get ahead economically and take a big economic lead, like right now, even though I've got more drones, he's not that far behind me just because of how effective that mule is, how effective those can be. And, building up a lot of tech structures, this is a lot of tech to throw down, just up for you Terran players. Off of one base, you're not going to be able to run 3 barracks and 2 factories and, getting an armory up here. I mean, it's good to have your tech and it's good to build it, but there really should be an expansion going up right here. But now we see a group of Marines coming out, 0-0 for the upgrades, and we've got a handful of my Banglings here. So once I get a little bit closer, now I'm going to see them coming in. I caught them with my Overlord over here, so I know that there's Marines incoming. I'm going to see them again right here with my creep. So let's just take a look at this right here. We go into the Army tab, 1,000 to 400. So Marines balled up, they can be pretty deadly. They do a lot of damage to Zerglings. These Banglings, 35 to 45. Let's see what happens. And there we go. Select all the Banglings, and boom. Massive, massive awesomeness. So, right there, let's jump right into it. Let's check out the units lost. Yep, so I gained a small little victory right there, but that's really nothing to be celebrated. That's just a handful of Marines, and that does cost me gas, that costs me minerals every time a Bangling explodes, but as you can see, I've got a lot of creep tumors going out here. What I did initially is I spawned my first queen, and all I did was use her to poop creep tumors. Spawn the second one, and I'm going to use that one over there to inject, and then what I'm also going to do is I'm going to be morphing a couple overseers really soon, because I'm very fearful of Banshee harass. Let's just go back into the income tab right here. You can see that my opponent has not produced, I don't think he's produced any SCVs in quite some time. He's built the tech structures that he wants. He's got his 2 factories, which he's going right for Thors. These guys are just ridiculously sick against Zerg. It's not even funny how powerful these bastards are. I hate you guys so much. But I'm going for an evolution chamber because there's my overseer. I'm going to want to put, 1 or 2 spore crawlers at each base just because I'm really, really afraid, guys, of that happening. But 35 to 21, and I'm going to start to pull ahead economically pretty hardcore right here. This base, not quite saturated yet, but getting close. And there we go, I'm saturating the gas because I just got my Spire up and running, and I want to transition into Muta, Bangling, Mutaling, and I want to fly over here, I want to harass the heck out of this mineral line, I just want to start wrecking stuff. And I've got the creep almost all the way up to his base, so whatever he's going to do, got an Overlord chilling over here, I'll know what's going on, and I'll be moving over here to destroy the rocks and hopefully take my gold pretty soon. And right over here with my Overlord, I believe I caught the Thors moving out, which is why I moved my Mutalisks over here, because Mutas like this, what you've got to do is you've got to fly them over and you've got to magic box them, otherwise they're just going to be completely worthless. And right here, I have got a lot of Zerglings moving out, because I know I need to get military troops up and running. I'm doubling him in income, but he's just forcing out all these troops. Now, this is what I'm talking about right here. You see these SCVs that are out here with the Thors? These guys are set to auto-repair, and they're following the Thors. So what's going to happen right here is I get my Mutas caught just a little bit too early. They don't really serve any effectiveness. And even right here, these Marines are going to make pretty quick work of my Zerglings. As you can see right here, the Zerglings go in, they try to attack the Thor, but these SCVs repair it. Now, because of StarCraft 2's AI, these SCVs, none of them have died. We still have 6 SCVs right there. You've got 11, 9 kills. These Marines just ripped my guys apart, and as you can see, I literally do not have a standing army. I got an infestation pit because I was expecting Thors, but right now I'm in a really bad position, and what happens is, when these guys are repairing right here, the Zerglings, they won't auto-attack them, so you have to micro each individual SCV. But if you start doing that, the SCVs set to auto-repair are just going to start repairing each other. you absolutely need banglings to deal with this. There's no other reasonable way to deal with this. Maybe fungal growth, but at that point they'll just start repairing each other again. So I'm sorry for all the pauses, but I feel that, you know, they do have some benefits. So what I'm doing right now is I'm going to be building, if we go up to the production tab right here, so many units worth of Zerglings, and I set the rally point up here, and I'm morphing a lot of banglings. I'm hoping that this hatchery, before it goes down, will buy me just enough time